Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Naperville Township Board of Trustees to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Has everyone now signed in?
All right, well, please call the roll.
Malm?
Here.
Osira?
Here.
Schultz?
Here.
Santucci? Wagner?
Here.
All right, so we have 4 members of the board present, and we have a quorum, and we're able to conduct business tonight. Are there any addenda to the agenda? Okay. All right, hearing none, we'll move on to public comments. I'd like to invite any member of the public to speak up to 3 minutes on a topic, any topic related to township government. Yes. Oh, we're supposed to fill out forms, but there might not have been any there. Yeah, there were.
They're out there.
Yes, please.
I'm Jenny Dolly, and I'm the Director of Senior Services here. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of the outgoing trustees, the clerk, the highway commissioner, and the supervisor for what I feel has been outstanding service to the residents of Naperville Township. I am especially appreciative, Rachel, for you giving us as employees the opportunity to initiate and execute some programs that I think have been especially beneficial, because I get feedback on any one given day many times. And when you get that positive feedback, that needs to be expressed publicly, and I am very appreciative of that opportunity, and I'm appreciative of all of your service. So thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to establish the consent agenda to approve the April 5th, 2017 Township Fiscal Year 2017-28 Budget and Appropriation Public Hearing Minutes, approve the April 5th, 2017 Township Road District Fiscal Year 2017-2018 Budget and Appropriation Public Hearing Minutes, approve the April 5th, 2017 regular meeting open session minutes, approve the first quarter 2017 investment report, and adopt the first quarter 2017 reports for social service providers.
So move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Malm?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
So the consent agenda, as read, is established. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please call the roll.
Malm?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Consent agenda is approved. We'll move on to presentations, and tonight we have Millie Rodriguez here with us. She is our Director of Casework, and I asked her to give us an update on general assistance and emergency assistance in the township. And even though this is the end of our term, it's a public meeting, the public is here. There are members of the new elected officials who are here with us tonight, and I thought it would just be helpful for the board to hear kind of an overview of general assistance, emergency assistance, what's transpired this year, and how it might be different than what's happened in the past or trends. There was information in your packets. So Millie, if you'd like to take, about 5 minutes to go through everything. It's interactive, so I'd like to suggest that we allow questions as you go through it. Okay. And I think if you stand right over there, it's best for the camera.
The information, just putting some numbers together,
regarding our general assistance grants and our emergency assistance program over the last 5 years. I want to say about 5-6 years ago, we purchased the visual GA system, which allows us to enter all of the information into one system, and it makes it a lot easier to print out reports and to compare what's been happening over the years. And so I provided some information and some graphs regarding emergency assistance and general assistance. And I wanted to point out the change that we have seen in general assistance over the last 5 years. We started out with a number of approximately $35,900 and something going out in general assistance money per that fiscal year 2012, 2013. And then it decreased. The following year it was 15,000, the year after that 14 something, the year after that 16 something, and our last fiscal year was $9,065. So it has significantly decreased. At that time we had a lot of unemployed, a lot of people pending Social Security disability, possibly motivated to apply for general assistance or to apply for Social Security disability because the job market was so difficult. Between people becoming employed again and Social Security making determinations on those that take a couple of years to make, we have seen a significant decrease in general assistance over the past 5 years. The emergency assistance program has done the opposite, actually.
Well, let me just stop on general assistance. So, of course, we're simply evaluating the people who come in and apply. So the total dollars has significantly gone down. The number of applications have.
Well, there's a difference between the general assistance. We are mandated to provide general assistance. Right. I should have clarified that from the beginning, but general assistance is an ongoing assistance. Mm-hmm. It's someone who has become unemployed or is pending Social Security disability and has drawn from everything else that they have. So they are no longer eligible they've exhausted their unemployment benefits. They are receiving income from no other sources. They have used up all of their assets and they are down to nothing. So then we are required to provide them a minimum of $245 a month to sustain them, if that can sustain anybody for a month. So that is the general assistance program. But our general assistance total funds, so when we see that something was paid out under general assistance, it also includes emergency assistance. And so what happens is if we determine that they are not eligible for some reason for general assistance, then we can provide them with emergency assistance to assist them once in a 12-month period with, something that is a utility because they've been shut off, or to help them with their rent because they have a 5-day notice. So it's a separate program that we have created. So because we have seen a shift in general assistance, a decrease in the amount of general assistance that's going out for these ongoing payments, we have decided to make some changes to our emergency assistance program. And every year we can decide as a township, some things are mandated to us. For instance, it's assistance once in a 12-month period and they cannot exceed that. But other things like the income guideline that we use and the amount of assistance that we can provide can be changed by the township supervisor. So what we did was we took a look at the need that we were seeing as our clients were coming in. So if they were coming in with a shut-off notice on their utility, and we were only providing them with $150 towards that emergency need, but their bill was $600, it was really just a drop in the bucket. And they were having to go to other agencies to try to come up with that full amount. So if we had been helping with, before, the way we had it set up, if we were helping them with their rent, they may have qualified for 400, but if it was a utility, then it was only 150. So we decided that that wasn't meeting the whole need. So once we have established that they have the need and we can approve it for the need, we could technically use the full grant amount. So if the utility was the $600 to get them reconnected and we could do 400, then they only had to come up with the other 200. The same thing with, if we were assisting with a utility and the utility was 200, but they were technically eligible for 4, what other needs do you have under the program that we can provide? So were they needing food? Could we provide them with a food voucher? Were they needing, did they have another bill for another utility that also needed payment? Obviously, if they were coming to us for some assistance, they were in some need. And to limit the need to just the amount that we were providing before, when we can actually use the full grant to assist them out of this need, was really not the all that we could do. And then we were again banning them for the rest of the next 11 months without assistance. So we're trying to do a more holistic approach to the needs when they come to us.
And if the board remembers, we implemented that change, it was a little over a year ago, in the our emergency assistance rules. Yeah. So
the change then over the last 5 years, where in that fiscal year of 2012-13, the emergency assistance provided was about $15,700. The following year it was $20,000. The following was $22,000, almost $21,000 the year before, and then this past fiscal year we did provide a total of $43,589 in emergency assistance services. So we're right at that range from 5 years ago when we look at the overall picture. In the balance, the total between general and emergency 5 years ago would have been about 52,000, and this past year was 52,600. So we've come sort of full circle to using the same amount of assistance, since our general assistance has decreased and our emergency assistance has increased.
And some of that was geared towards some, I think, greater insights and some conversations we had with trying to remember the name of the group, but working on homelessness prevention in the community, and how we could work within our rules to really try to do more in situations to help people prevent homelessness. So, yeah.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Any questions from the board for Millie?
I have a quick question. The incidence looks like for total applications kind of jumped this year. What made it go from like the high 80s, low 90s, all the way up to 121? Was that a specific category, or were they all kind of up?
The emergency assistance guidelines, as we changed them, we did increase the income guideline to match that of the LIHEAP program, the Low Income Energy Assistance. So whereas before we were using 130% of the federal poverty level, we did increase it to 150.
Oh, okay.
The other change that we made was that at one point, everyone was, all of the townships were kind of doing the same thing, where everyone was not taking applications for utilities during the LIHEAP season, kind of to push people to go ahead and apply for LIHEAP first. We did implement it for a couple of years, and then we saw that really wasn't meeting the need. You can go to LIHEAP and apply when the program first starts in September, and you may be shut off at that moment, and then they use all of the funding that they can, and then they cannot help again until the following September. So then we had individuals who during the LIHEAP season were no longer eligible for that program, and they still needed it. So we, as long as we verify that they have submitted an application and been assisted through LIHEAP for everything that they can, then if they have a need, they can come to us. So that also allowed for more applications to come through.
Got it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
All right, thanks, Millie.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Millie. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work that you and Holly have done on the program this year and the last couple of years. You do a great job. We will move on to, under old business, we have approved the 2017 Ride DuPage agreement. We don't have the agreement this evening. We have sent updated allocations to PACE, reflecting a mileage basis that the townships had agreed on last year. And we're waiting for PACE to hopefully send back the revised allocation so we can approve the agreement allocation sheet. So that will have to be continued. Move on to new business. You have in your packets 9 agreements with our social service providers that we've been working with for a number of years. These are ordinances to approve the agreements for services. All of the spending, they're all one-year agreements. They're similar agreements that we've had in place for the last couple of years. And the dollar amounts match what are in the budget. And the agreements would be effective today upon the point that they're signed off. So we'll go through these one at a time with a roll call. So the first,
Madam Supervisor,
yes.
Point of information or point
Yes.
of order. Is there, before we do that, are there any new organizations here that we haven't supported in the past?
there are not.
Is there any way to consolidate this into just one, since we've pretty much already agreed upon doing this and it's in the budget? Is there a way to consolidate the consideration of them as to kind of a, I don't know what the motion would be, but
Well, if they were on the consent agenda, we could do that.
is there a way to create a new consent agenda around these?
I don't know that we can do that.
Just
It's-
trying to save time, because rather than to go through each one, my guess is we'll approve them all.
Yes, I don't think it's going to take real long to do that. I would like to have a roll call vote on each of them because we are transitioning, terms. So I think it would be prudent to have a roll call vote on each of them.
Okay.
My intention will be to read it off, and if anybody wants discussion, you can ask for discussion. Okay, all right, we'll go ahead. Item 9.1 is to approve the ordinance approving the agreement for provision of services between the Naperville Township and 360 Youth Services, and the financials of that are $65,000 for 360 and $5,000 for Snowball. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please call the roll.
Malm?
Yes.
Lucira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
So that is approved. Next one is to approve an ordinance approving an agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and the Aurora Interfaith Food Pantry. And the funding for that reflected in the agreement is $5,000 in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Malm?
Yes.
Lucira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
And that ordinance is approved. We'll move on to 9.3 is to approve an ordinance approving an agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Community Career Center. The funding is $10,000 and that is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Malm?
Yes.
Lucira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
And that ordinance for Community Career Center is approved. We'll move on to 9.4, is to approve an ordinance approving the agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Day One Pact. The funding is in the amount of $5,000, which is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
All right, and that ordinance is approved. 9.5, approve an ordinance approving agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Ecumenical Adult Care. The funding is in the amount of $5,000, which is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Discussion.
No, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Wagner?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Mel?
Yes.
And that ordinance is approved. 9.6 is to approve an ordinance approving the agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Loaves and Fishes Community Services. The funding is $10,000, which is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Ordinance for Loaves and Fishes is approved. 9.7 is an ordinance to approve agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Loaves and Fishes Cares, formerly Naperville Cares, in the amount of $15,000, which is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mel?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Ordinance is approved. 9.8, approve an ordinance approving agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Samara Care Counseling, formerly known as Samaritan Interfaith Counseling, in the amount of $10,000, which is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to approve?
So
Move to approve.
Second?
Okay, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Schultz?
Yes.
Mel?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes. Approved. And then the last agreement is to approve an ordinance approving agreement for provision of services between Naperville Township and Senior Home Sharing in the amount of $5,000, which is in line with the budget. Is there a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Also approved. And then we have 9.10 to approve a resolution approving the agreement with Call One for analog telecommunication services. This is an annual agreement. Analog services are something that are declining, and so the telecoms companies are not willing to give us pricing any longer than 1 year at a time. The pricing is flat with last year's cost estimated to be $289. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second?
Per month. I'm sorry. $289 per month. Motion to approve and second. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes. And so the Call One analog telecommunications service contract is also approved. Which brings us to reports, and we have our assessor, Assessor Dixon.
Thank you, Supervisor Osira. First, I'd like to give a report on the assessor's office. Tax bills went out on May 1st. Hence, our office gets a little bit busier. It hasn't been a huge volume of calls. We had areas in the township that property tax bills went down. We had areas that property tax bills went up. And so we've been able to service those at a pretty decent rate. I think that's years of communication in the process from what our office does too, for that particular position. Secondly, I'd like to thank the board for the support that you've given the assessor's office over the years, especially the trustees for the 4 years of your service that you've given to us. It's been a pleasure working with all of you in that mission to provide the fair and most fair and equitable assessments in Naperville Township. I thank you for that. I thank Supervisor Osira for her partnership in what we've been able to do. Supervisor Osira has been transformative in the compliance of the township over the 4 years of where we've come from to where we are today. Walking in here 4 years ago into a very non-compliant situation, today the township is in a much better position, and so thank you for your service. To our clerk, you've been a great partner. Thank you for your service to the township. You have been there constantly at times of need or question, and have always been extremely complimentary to my staff, and I appreciate that for the years. To my dear friend Stan Wataziak, thank you. I have grown up with you. I've known you for a long, long time, and
Whole life.
I have. Yes, I have. So it's been an honor, and you have serviced this community with the best that you possibly can give, and all that you give. My dear friend has gone through some hard times recently, and his dedication and devotion to the township has not faltered in any of those times. And to that, I admire you for all that you do. But I thank you mostly for your friendship, and the township was well served when as the highway commissioner. So thank you for that. So it has been an honor to serve. To my council, Mr. Adams, you have been a partner in achieving what we needed to get to, and to service the township residents the best that we possibly can. You have worked extremely well together as a board and a team. It was a pleasure to work with you for the 4 years, and I appreciate all that you've done. To my new friends coming in, I look forward to that similar relationship, and I am excited to the transition that is coming. I know the residents of Naperville Township will continue to be served at an extremely high level, so I look forward to the next 4 years and the partnership and the help that I may provide to you, and hopefully the partnerships that we'll build. So thank you for everybody that has served. It has been an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Assessor Dixon. A Highway Commissioner?
Yes, I would just like to thank Barry Greenberg, clerk, and Paul Santucci, Bob Wagner, Warren Dixon for all your help and support over the years, but most of all for your friendship. And I'd like to offer my congratulations to the new board and my successor, Richard Nobinger, there. I know he'll do great. So thank you all very much.
And our town clerk?
These are the nicest comments I've taken in 4 years. Just putting that out there. The 2017 annual town meeting went very well. I was pleased to see our newly elected officials coming aboard to learn the ropes. I've met with Nate Sipple, my successor in office, today, and we have other meetings planned ad hoc in the future to ease his transition in and to show him the ropes of what I've learned in the 4 years. I want to also thank the board, supervisor, assessor's office, especially Stan, for working so well with the clerk's office. As you all know, the clerk has no staff that reports to the clerk's office. The clerk doesn't report to anyone but you, the citizens. So it's been a learning experience that I've tremendously enjoyed, and I look forward to being of any assistance I can to Nate in the next 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Greenberg. And now for my report, I would like to also thank all of the elected officials for the tremendous teamwork that we've had over the last 4 years. As Assessor Dixon said, I think we've accomplished a lot. We've started from, in some ways, from a governance perspective, from a rough place. Our township attorney was a tremendous resource, and counsel, during that process. I'm appreciative of all of the staff as well. The supervisor's staff has done an outstanding job there. A day doesn't go by when we're not getting some type of feedback about the extraordinary assistance that they've provided to the public. And I know the assessor's staff is a tremendous staff as well. And while I haven't worked as closely with them, I do work with them and know that they are all outstanding professionals. So I thank each and every single one of you for your professionalism, for your service to the public, for your dedication, and for just making it, I think, one of the best experiences I've had in my life. I also want to congratulate the new elected officials who will be coming in. I look forward to helping you in any way you can. I've been working with incoming supervisor Eddie Bedford for the last couple of weeks, and I know he's going to do an outstanding job. And we want to make sure that this is a good transition. So, just for the record, I will help in any way possible going forward. So, thank you, everyone. And Trustee Mom.
As everybody else said, I really enjoyed my last 4 years. It was my first elected position, so it was very interesting. Enjoyed it very much, and I wish the incoming new people the best of luck. And I don't know, I can offer help with anything that you might need. But it's a fun experience. You really get to know the township. You get to know the services. You get to know the people. And this board's been great to work with, so I just hope going forward you have the same experience that I did the last 4 years.
Thank you, Trustee Mom. Trustee Schultz.
First of all, I'd like to thank the board for the opportunity to serve our community. Unlike the rest of you, I wasn't elected to this spot, but was fulfilling another person's role. And so it was a good opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about township government, and you all made it easy to slip right in and do what I needed to do for y'all. So I appreciate that. Also, as far as the incoming board, I don't have much experience as a trustee, but I have been in other elected positions and would be very happy to assist you in any manner that I can.
Thank you, Trustee Schultz. Trustee Wagner.
So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to say all this in person at the annual meeting, but hopefully the statement that I submitted covered a lot of how I feel about being on this board. And I can't say enough about the staffs of all the organizations, whether they be at the highway or upstairs or here in this office. You all do a great job and serve the public exceedingly well. It has been a great experience to also learn about the fabulous people that we have living amongst us, that each day go to work thinking how they can make their lives and other lives better. And the spirit of volunteerism is really quite remarkable. And if I take nothing else out of this experience, it's learning how many great organizations we have out there that are trying to do the heavy lifting of helping other than government for the people of the community. So I wanted to acknowledge everybody who does that, as well as the staff. Thank all the elected officials, our esteemed council, who has been extremely helpful with your guidance during these 4 years. I much appreciate that. So I will close with those words. Thanks, and good luck to all of you guys.
Thank you, Trustee Wagner. And Township Attorney.
I really have no report except to say thank you to this board for appointing me, and it's been an absolute honor to serve you. I think it's been amazing what we've been able to accomplish. I'm very proud of the work that we did, and it's been a special honor to have the opportunity to work with you, Supervisor Osira. Your leadership skills and vision are second to none, and it's been an honor to work with you. So thank you very much for that opportunity.
Thank you. I believe the audited bills and claims is completed. All of the trustees have signed the bills and claims. Were there any questions from the audit? Any comments? Okay. All right. So we'll move on to approval of the bills and claims. Item 12.1 is to approve the town fund bills and claims for the month of April 2017 in the amount of $166,071.56. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve the town fund bills and claims for $166,071.56.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz? Wagner?
Yes.
And they are approved. Next item is to approve the road fund bills and claims for the month of April 2017 in the amount, I'll let whoever's making the motion read off the amount.
I'll make the motion.
As the auditors.
I'll make the motion to approve the road fund bills and claims for $145,823.89.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wagner?
Yes, sir.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Yes.
Schultz?
And so the road fund bills and claims are approved. We will not have a closed session this evening, but we will move down to item 14, which is to approve. We've been holding on to the closed session minutes from January 10th, 2017, because we haven't had a closed session since then. I'm going to pass these out to strictly the trustees and the clerk and ask that you just take a look at that.
I have a question on it. Steve, would you look at number 2 and see if that was the township's request or whether that was the other party's request?
This has now been dismissed.
I have two of them. I just want to make sure that one. Well, you're not releasing them, though. You're just approving them.
Just approving them, not releasing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see, I flagged one word that should be deleted because I think it makes it clearer what was intended there, but other than that, I think it's accurate.
Thank
Well,
you.
that's fine, okay. Do the trustees need any more time? Okay. All right. Then, so item 14.1 is to approve the closed session minutes from January 10th, 2017. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
No, second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, please call the roll. Give me the.
Mel?
Yes.
Osira?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Wagner?
Yes.
All right. And so the closed session minutes are approved, which makes us totally current coming from our closed session. So everything is current. There are no other final actions So the only motion that we need is to adjourn.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay,
There you go.
we're adjourned.